California Street. You can see the street names translated over there into Bengali. Now, look at those houses. These are classic early 18th century houses. 1720s these were built. And these were built by those Protestant Huguenot refugees who came here from northern France in the 18th century. Now, we had Huguenots coming into this country throughout the centuries. Practically every town in southern England has Huguenots cottages. Weavers' cottages, because Huguenots were weavers. But this last influx were quite wealthy, and they were silk weavers, and they needed a lot of light for their workshops. And if you look at the top of the buildings, the attic windows there, that's original equipment. That's where their workshops were. And they also had kitchens in the basement for servants. So they're in that situation, the upstairs downstairs situation. The houses built later in the West End of London have a bigger area in front of the house, so more light got down to the kitchens. Now, the Huguenots, being Protestant, assimilated very quickly. You think of the other immigrant groups to this area. We had Jews, we had Muslims, we had Catholics, but they were Protestants. And by the end of the 18th century, they'd all but disappeared. It's reckoned a third of the English population has Huguenot blood. And these houses became little more than slums. Little bed-sit flats, furniture factories, tailoring sweatshops. That's what these houses were for the next few hundred years. Until the 1980s, people working in the City of London, you can see how close the city is, the modern buildings there, discovered these early 18th century houses on their doorsteps going for as little as £20,000 each. You know where this story's going. Buying them up, renovating them. A house in the next street was sold last summer for £2.5 million. And there's quite a few celebrities in this area, mainly artists. Gilbert and George live on this street. Tracy Emin a few streets away. Daniel Cruikshank's in the area. There's quite a few local English celebrities in the neighbourhood. The building across the road there was built in 1743 by the Huguenots. It was built as a church. By the end of the 18th century, it was Wesleyan Chapel. By the end of the 19th century, it was a synagogue. And by the end of the 20th century, a mosque. The planning regulations of this building, it can only be a house of worship. Now, when I first worked this neighbourhood as a tour guide many years ago, I used to jokingly say, we'll see what the next influx brings. But I think the way this area is gentrifying, the next incarnation for that building, it'll probably be a church again. Long time off yet, but that's what this, I think, will happen. One more stop.